Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we just finished defeating the Unbidden. They are gone. No more Unbidden. So now we need to turn our attention to reclaiming the territory that they took away from us, rebuilding, and finally conquering everybody. That's kind of the goal. At least eventually. But first, we gotta get our fleets rebuilt. We're getting close, and since we're not going to be paying anything in terms of ongoing fleets getting destroyed, we will get there very quickly. Probably this episode, is my guess. But we also need to be working on getting these construction ships working, and we also have a lot of colonies to create. So that's going to be a thing, and we can work on some internal stuff. So that's going to be a little while. We'll also need to work on getting our borders secured, specifically at some of these locations. I think we'll wait until after we have our fleets built up to do that. We're also going to need at some point to refit our fleets. So I'm actually going to stop constructing any additional fleets until such a time as all of our queues are empty. Once our queues are empty, then we will refit back to properly being able to fight these galactic people, because the Unbidden were very unique in what we needed to defeat them. But we've got these construction ships idle, and I do not want them to be idle. So, let's just get over here, and we're lacking in our influence. That's exciting stuff. Luckily, we'll be able to build roughly every 10 months. We'll be able to build one of these. And the reason we're lacking in our influence is because I just turned on that mineral edict. So that's exciting. This cruiser will be finished up very shortly. This Titan is going to be a long time in the making. Construction complete. I actually think I'm just going to cancel the Titan for now, because we're going to be refitting everything. So we'll just wait until these are done, and in the meantime bank alloys, and then we'll get the refit done. Excellent. So it's a total of 37 that we need in terms of influence here. Okay. That's fine. Hopefully we don't have too many people claiming our territory here. It'd be a little salty if we did. Of course, these people did. But we'll deal with them in the not-too-distant future. Well, our fleets are getting nice and repaired. In fact, I think we're fully repaired at this point. Not quite. The Throndraite shards still have some hull that needs to be repaired, but that'll get done easily enough. 20 days and 41 days. Okay. So we'll be refitting momentarily. About another month on that refit. So let's go ahead and start working on our refit while we're waiting. So corvettes, I kind of want them to be picket ships now, because a lot of the guys around us, they're using missiles. So we would have something like a gamma laser to deal with shields, a flak artillery to shoot down incoming missiles, or maybe a guardian point defense. Let's see, 0.5, 0.5, 2 to 8, 2 to 6. 75% accuracy, tracking of 70% versus tracking of 30%. Range of 30, range of 30. Okay. I think we'll run the Guardian Point Defense. And then we will have, in this slot, probably The damage here, 7.57 versus 6.52. Would we run matter disintegrators? Maybe. We have, like, matter disintegrators instead of gamma lasers. Yeah, I think matter disintegrators there. And then to deal with shields, we could run energy siphons. Or just disruptors to penetrate both shield and armor. Or just autocannons to take down shields. Let's see, energy siphon would be about 6 per day. The Stormfire autocannons would still, I think, be better against shields. So it would run something like that. Okay. And then we'd run advanced afterburners, obviously, to have more speed. We can't go above 90% evasion, it would appear. Okay, that's fine. And then we'd just run in these areas purely dragon scale armor, probably. Yeah, purely dragon scale armor. No point in shields on a Corvette, in my opinion. Well, actually, 1 unit of shields wouldn't reduce our evasion. So maybe 1 unit of shields, 2 units of dragon scale armor. Like that. Okay, now for destroyers, we're going to run something pretty similar, actually. We're going to run Gauss cannons. Or rather, Stormfire autocannons are considered obsolete? Oh, they can't fit in medium slots. That's why. We're going to, in the medium slot, definitely run our matter disintegrator. I want a picket ship stern here, and we're going to run dual guardian point defense on the stern. And then on the bow, I think we run dual matter disintegrators and a Stormfire autocannon to deal with shields. And then we'll just do even split here. And I think we run afterburners since we've got power. Or auxiliary fire control. Or shield capacitors. The difference here is about 5% in terms of evasion. But the afterburners will also give us sublight speed, which I think is useful. Okay. So there's our destroyers, good to go. And then we're going to need to get cruisers. Now this is a cruiser that's being built, so I'm just going to wait for that to finish. There we go. Now for these, the question is, do we want them to be picket at all? Can they even be picket? We could run a hangar core, potentially. Have these be like carriers. And then this would be like a broadside bow and a gunship stern. And we would run, say, a matter disintegrator and a Gauss cannon. And then the same thing in the gunship stern. And then a pair of guardian point defense. And perhaps amoeba flagella? 54 per day. 40 per day. Yeah, advanced strike craft then. So it would be like that. And then defensively, we would run basically, again, an even mix between dragon scale armor and hyper shields. And then here, would afterburners actually help that much? It's only a 2% dodge chance. I think we run an auxiliary fire control and a shield capacitor. Like that. Okay, and then for battleships, now we've got the spinal mount bow where we've got the Giga Cannon. I think the Giga Cannon is maybe okay, but maybe we should run an artillery bow. And we would run like a kinetic artillery for shield damage, and a matter disintegrator for everything else, a large matter disintegrator. And then we'd do basically the same thing, actually. We would run something like that. That would, in theory, be extremely effective. Then we'd run Neutronian armor, or rather, not Neutronium, Dragon Scale armor, and Hyper Shields. And then a shield capacitor, as well as an auxiliary fire control. Like that. And then on our Titans, all we have is the Perdition Beam for the Titan Bow. That's okay. We'll upgrade this to Dragon Scale armor for sure. And then I think we do the same thing. We just run an even split of kinetic artillery and matter disintegrators. That should be enormously effective, in theory. The dark matter reactor will be fine here. We technically don't need it, but that does give us 0.2 evasion chance. So there's that. Okay. And then our normal defense platform, I'm going to delete the Unbidden class defense platform. We don't need that anymore. Our normal defense platform is going to be a similar sort of thing. I think a point defense station section is fine. But over here, we're going to be running matter disintegrators and stormfire autocannons. Yeah. I think that'll be fine. And then we will run Dragon Scale armor and a hyper shield there. Okay. And then the ion cannon is, it just is what it is pretty much. We'll just need to put in the Dragon Scale armor and call it a day. Excellent. So how much is it going to cost to do all this? Exotic gases for shield boost just expired. That's fine. I don't care. Okay, only 4K? Do it.
Innovation rollout.
How about you? 3.3K? Do it. We have an unspent trait point for Snakeoids. Also, the game is a little frozen right now. It actually fully stopped responding there. There we go, now it's back. Okay, I'm not too worried about Snakeoids. We'll displace them. What do we want here? Probably armor hit points. That'll be good. The Baronel fragments need to start upgrading as well. There we go. So we'll get that all changed over to our more standardized system. I'm actually going to take this guy over here and start building. And then as soon as the Lentipaz fragments get back to Shap, we'll have them upgrade. Yeah, they're still going for Shap, so that's perfect.
Accretion complete.
And we're going to be spending all of the alloys that we get in for a little while as we work on these upgrades.
Complete.
Excellent. Sweet, sweet peace. Sometimes it's nice to just not have to be fighting anybody for a little bit. But once we get some of this stuff taken care of, we'll be fighting again quite soon. We definitely need to get all of our ships grouped up and put together. Switched over to the new fleet doctrines. And yeah, we are way ahead on the shield and kinetic weapons, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to go for kinetic weapons, because we've put so much effort into researching our kinetic weapons to deal with the Unbidden. So I wanted to have those instead of like energy siphons or something like that, just because they're just better right now. We technically don't need the something pronounceable station anymore. We can downgrade that, and we won't have to pay anything anymore. And we'll just get rid of all of these Unbidden class defense platforms. Aramis no longer needs to have Unbidden class defense platforms and can be switched over. We don't have the alloys to do that, though, just yet. Our alloys are going to be pretty occupied for a little bit. We need another 50k to max out, so there's that. Luckily, our construction ships are working away. Shap is currently working on upgrading what? I'm actually not sure what that was. But as this finishes up, we'll have more and more alloys opened up for other things, which is good. We're overall at about 22%, but we need alloys. I'm going to actually buy in a few just to have this be a little bit more manageable in terms of time. There we go. We'll also sell a little bit of food here, like that, just so we don't mess up our buy order on the minerals. Excellent. So all of our fleets are back at their home stations. There are some reinforcements still flying around out there that didn't manage to get to their fleets in time, but that's great. Unfortunately, we're not banking alloys yet. We have a lot of upgrades to go for that, ultimately.
Special project.
Hey, there we go, the Grey Tempest. Our technicians managed to lift the lockdown from the L gate near Kelvin Maelstrom, but as soon as a permanent link was established to the L cluster, a massive incoming subspace surge was detected. We were able to restrict this potential invasion force from using our gate, while still retaining access for ourselves. Unfortunately, the incoming surge was diverted to the other L gates in the galaxy. Strange vessels consisting of nanites are pouring in through these now fully active gates, attacking everything in sight. All attempts to communicate with these machines have failed. In the wake of their passage through the L gates, we've detected a repeating subspace transmission emanating from the L cluster. Put it on screen. Decoding repeated automated subspace transmission. Establishing translation matrix. Alert. Message is heavily corrupted. Attempting reconstitution of message fragments. 3 message fragments partially recovered. What's fragment 1? We are the unintelligible, architects of the Galactic Gateway Network. Oh, we do that too. If you're receiving this transmission, then we can only unintelligible that we are not too late. Perhaps one of our message buoys somehow slipped past the unintelligible and escaped the cluster before it was closed off. Do not, repeat, do not, restore access to the dormant gateway in our star cluster. Under no circumstances must a stable connection be formed between the unintelligible and the galaxy at large. For the sake of all civilization, our cluster has to remain under permanent quarantine. Interesting. Access Fragment 2. In an act that will inevitably doom our civilization, we have deliberately isolated our home cluster to prevent the spread of the Nar Dashav, the Grey Tempest. These self-replicating nanomachines were instrumental in the construction of our gateway network, but when their unintelligible had concluded, we found that they would no longer accept our commands. Through a hidden back door, our unintelligible managed to recall the machines to our home cluster, but the security hole has since been plugged. When they started harvesting our planets for minerals, we knew it was only a matter of time before... The main unintelligible facility is the key. All of their unintelligible are routed through its subspace array, and without it they cannot function. Unfortunately, all of our attempts to disable it have failed, and we can no longer muster the forces to unintelligible another assault. If the quarantine of our cluster has failed, you must destroy this facility. As long as it remains unintelligible, the Grey Tempest will continue to surge unabated throughout the galaxy. We're truly sorry for unleashing this horror. In our hubris, And that's it. Okay. So our L gate is over here. And this is the L cluster. Interesting. Well, everyone else is being attacked through their L gates, but we are not, according to that. Interesting. Are there other L gates? Surely there's other L gates. Yeah, here's one. The Grey Tempest is attacking over here. Okay. Interesting. That's very interesting. So let's go ahead and take this science chip back to where it was from, which I believe it was from Wheezin. Yep. Okay, so it goes here. And the Throndrate shards, they're still in progress on upgrading. I do want to get some of this taken care of. I'm going to sell off some rare crystals, as well as a little bit of food, like that. And we really need to get a fleet over there. Okay, they came through this singularity, which is one of our singularities, but I don't think our station holds this. No, our station does not hold this. Does it? It's just their Titan left. Out of curiosity, what are they running? Energy spheres. Just really heavy into fighters. Okay. So point defense is fine here. I think we're gonna lose this. Maybe. Well, I don't know. If we can get more attacks on their Titan and fewer on their little dudes here. No, we're gonna lose this, I think. Actually, no, we won. Just barely. But there goes their Titan. Excellent. So we were able to hold that on our other L gate. But I'm assuming everywhere else with an L gate is probably going to get beaten by that. And now they're moving over here. Okay. So we need to move to secure our L gates, or any L gates that may pose a threat to us. Of course, we also desperately need to get some alloys to wrap up our upgrading. I think I'm going to go ahead and sell a few of these, as well as a few of these at this point. And some minerals too. Okay. So all of that just disappeared immediately into upgrading. 43% done with the Throndrate shards. 99% done with the Baronel fragments. Okay. The Baronel fragments are not really in a good position to be able to attack. The Throndrate shards are in a much better position for that. Okay, this is an L gate here. So I guess that means that other people didn't open up the L gate. We shouldn't have much of a problem dealing with the Grey Tempest, though, realistically. I think it'll be fine. We can't get the alloys to build over here.
Science ship under attack.
Wait, where? Is it here? I'm not sure what's happening. But we need to get over to the L gate and see what's going, or rather to the L cluster and see what's going on over there. But the Throndrate shards really need to finish upgrading very, very badly. They're currently at about 52%. And this guy's going to attack us. We have to send the Baronel fragments. Get on over there, guys. We've actually got some alloys right now. So let's build that. Excellent. Okay, so, I mean, we'll deal with the Grey Tempest. It's not a huge deal. We're going to end up losing the Uzab Vortex.
Station under attack.
For sure. Like, there's no doubt that we lose this. Going to want to get this construction ship over here as soon as we can. Actually, this construction ship over here as soon as we can. Because, yeah, that definitely goes away. I'm a little upset that they didn't take out this station. Is he going to backtrack? Actually, he might. It looks like that might be the plan. Anyway, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to deal with the Grey Menace. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.